So I think we'll wait for a few more people to join. We'll actually start the presentation in about 4 minutes. And try to get as many people as possible. Can you guys see my screen? Am I sharing it?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, oh, it looks like we do have a couple of people. Okay. Let's give it just a few more minutes just in case, because I know that there's some people that are going to another presentation. So maybe we'll start in at 4:03, if that's okay with everybody.
Sounds good.
Okay. Just one more minute here. I haven't seen that anybody else has joined, but just in case. Okay. More just joined. All right, and it's 4:03, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. For everyone who does not know me, my name is Abby Hawkins. I'm with Chelsea Investment Corporation. I just want to say thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. I know this was a very quick notice, so I really appreciate your time. I'm just going to go ahead and jump into it and let our partners with Catholic Charities go ahead and start their introductions. So here you go, Jim. Oh, Jim, you're on mute.
Thank you, Abby. First technical difficulty of the night. So I'm Jim Gannon, and I'm with the CEO of Catholic Charities here locally in the Archdiocese of Santa Fe. We're happy to be here with Chelsea, a partner of ours, and Jebs and Zuza, architects, to work on this project for the Cibola area of our community, and in responding to both the neighborhood and the city's desire to develop senior housing. Catholic Charities has been here for 75 years, responding to the human needs of folks here in Albuquerque and throughout the Archdiocese. And we just continue to do that. Our issue is working to help better this community for the residents, for you and I and our neighbors. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to our CC Housing Executive Vice President for Development, Adam Saber.
Hello, everyone. My name is Adam Saber. I'm CC Housing Executive Vice President. CC Housing was formed in 2016 after Catholic Charities decided to be part of the affordable housing solution. We all know that the state of New Mexico is among the states that really facing housing problem. So many New Mexicans are burdened by the housing cost. Since 2016, we are so proud to be part of 6 affordable housing projects statewide. 3 of those projects are out of the city of Albuquerque. And if we were successful in this development, this will be our 3rd affordable housing project within the city of Albuquerque. This development, the idea of this development actually goes back to 2015, when the city of Albuquerque hired Consensus Planning as a consultant to choose a place for the city to develop an affordable housing project serving seniors 55 plus and public library building and also a public swimming pool. And consensus planning chose Cibola Loop as the best location within the city of Albuquerque to develop this project. A couple months ago, actually maybe it was like 3 months ago, the city of Albuquerque issued an RFP. CC Housing partnered with Chelsea Investment to be able to respond to this project. And we are really, really excited to be part of this and to develop this project in this location within the city of Albuquerque. With this, I will turn it to Abby to give more details on the development. Abby?
Yeah, I'm just gonna let Dave chime in really fast so he can get his name out there. You're on mute, Dave.
Howdy, everyone. I'm Dave Hickman. I am an architect here in Albuquerque. The name of our company is Jeeves and Zuzu. We focus on all forms of residential, from everything from multifamily all the way down to single family development and home remodeling. So this is our world. We very much enjoy housing, all forms of housing, and we're excited to be a partner in this application. Thanks, Abby.
Thanks. So just to give everybody a little bit of an understanding and a background of who Chelsea is, we've been around for about 35 years. We've delivered affordable housing units across the Southwest. Specifically in New Mexico, we've partnered with Catholic Charities on 8 different projects to bring around a little over 600 units. We are a long-term owner and operator, so we continue on with our compliance and our vision to keep these communities beautiful and operating very well. And just a little bit about this project. Like Adam said, we are responding to an RFP from the city of Albuquerque to develop the Cibola site, which is, if you look on the screen, is right above the Albuquerque police station on Ellis Road. And a little bit of a background to this particular site is we did a little bit of community outreach prior to this meeting, where we had originally proposed or tossed around the idea of doing 110 to 120 unit project. And then based on some of the feedback that we've received from the community, we've really tried to modify it to incorporate their concerns of density and height and view corridors and landscaping, as well as parking and amenity space. So the project that we're discussing tonight and why it's so important, and I really thank everyone for being here, is we look forward to getting your feedback on what we're presenting. And that includes a modified project of 94 apartments, specifically for 55 and up seniors, where 15 of those units will be market rate. We are also proposing in this development around a 3,000 square foot senior center, which I'll let Adam and Jim talk about in a little bit, and the services that it will be providing to its residents as well as the community around this area. And some of the amenities that will be on site, besides the senior center, will also be on-site management, a computer lab, laundry facilities, a fitness room, and then I'll let them get into their services in just a little bit. If we are awarded this project, our anticipated construction timeline would be the first quarter of 2023, and it would be completed within 12 months. And with that, I will turn it over to Dave to discuss the actual project.
So what we've envisioned here on the project, looking at Cibola Loop and thinking about the adjacent multifamily projects, the density of those, and then looking at the neighborhoods that sit up a little bit higher on the mesa, is really trying to create a community within a community, but also not turning our backs to especially the residential neighborhoods up above. The fenced areas and the hidden areas of the adjacent apartment complexes can be a little tough. But what we wanted this community to do was to have internal organization, internal areas, community areas. And so that's why you see in the very middle, the very center of the layout is this courtyard area, trying to provide a central place for the tenants, for the residents of this community to be. If you look at the shape, it's kind of two C's, a bigger C on the bottom, a larger C on the top. And then there's a little building off to the side on the right-hand side. That's the senior center. Within the parking moved away from Cibola Loop, and then using a walking path that circumnavigates the entire site. The walking path, there's an orchard, there's a dog park, there's seating areas and landscape areas that are all outside of the community center and outside of the buildings. And the vision of that is to try and give those spaces back to the entire community, to allow those spaces to be used, the dog park to be used by the residents, by neighbors, by people walking, and encouraging more community interaction on this site than maybe would be otherwise. The project itself, seeing conceptually and contextually what we're looking at on the right-hand side, the right picture there is how that site sits relative to the existing substation, the police substation. So we go to the next slide. And this is another contextual view. You can see what we've envisioned is a two-story product. Our highest rooftops are 28 feet. It's quite a bit lower than the three-story buildings and probably lower than the bit adjacent substation building, which it can be a little tall as well. Again, trying to fit in, they're two-story residents for a reason, trying to tie in the ground level with each of the residents on both levels, making it fit and feel as if this is a home especially for the senior communities, rather than putting them in tall facility or tall buildings and removing them from the ground. So that's what we're trying to show here, is how this all fits and ties in. So next slide. So a couple of things, we've envisioned the project mostly as one bedrooms and two bedroom units. There's 18 two bedroom units. The units are 600 square feet and 728 square feet. We're pursuing 10% of the units to be accessible, but all the units have been designed. We say it's universal. All the units have been designed as if they are accessible units. And so to convert a unit to be able to facilitate a person or a couple aging in place is actually very simple. The 28 feet, we've kind of talked about that. And then we find with senior communities that there's a lot less parking demand. But despite that, we are still meeting the IDO requirements of 1.5 spaces per unit. And so we end up with 142 spaces. That includes a lot of accessible parking spaces throughout the site. And then the look of the buildings, again, this is just our concepts. This is what we've kind of envisioned really quickly as we've met together and talked. A two-story product, trying to tie into the community. The community center or the senior center building has visual elements that would tie back to the police substation and the fire station, trying to pick up on some of those aesthetics. Yard walls around the ground floor to provide a little bit of privacy, and Juliet balconies on the second floor for those residents, again, to be able to be connected and open to the treetops and feel as if they're still part of and look and feel and hear and see all of the stuff that's going on around outside of them. Let's see, a couple of looks from the inside, looking at that internal courtyard space. Again, this is all very preliminary. It's very conceptual, trying to build on that. Some of the things that we know that we will need to address as the project moves forward is we'll have to meet all of the provisions of the IDO, the Integrated Development Ordinance. It's a pretty complex zoning system. And then meeting also green building requirements. We anticipate this to be especially energy efficient and a wonderful place to live. So we're open to feedback and ideas and comments and questions from the neighbors, because ultimately that we do want it to be an expression of what the community wants and desires. So thanks, Abby.
So with that, I'd like to turn it over to Jim or Adam to talk about the services that will be provided on site.
Thank you, Abby. This is Jim again. Pleasure to be with you. And excuse me, I just have to get something off my screen. It's blocking my view. You know, we really have thought hard on this and worked at it, and we saw immediately for senior transportation and providing assistance, not only to the residents, but the surrounding community members, is we have a senior transportation program that is run by volunteers who utilize their own vehicles, personal vehicles, to help seniors make it to doctor's appointments, pharmacies, go shopping, the grocery store. And in doing it, they do it on one-on-one, and much as a friend or a relative might help transport someone and develop some real relationships. It's not multiple stops. It's convenient, and we're extending that to the residents as well as to the neighborhood. And the exciting thing is, in a senior being defined as 55 and older, that fits me in that category, and many other folks who also volunteer to provide the service. So it's neighbors helping neighbors, which is really important to us. The last year and a half has shown us the need, how individuals can be affected and need assistance with food. So we're also looking at this as being an activity that, again, the residents can be involved in helping to deliver, and as well as serve the community, is doing a food bank where folks coming in and around the residency can get some assistance. We'll look at other specific services as case management, referral for and coordination to help get set up with medical and health services, enrichment classes, nutrition classes, exercise classes for the seniors in the complex itself. But again, you know, a lot of that is listening to the actual seniors who are living there and what they're asking for, not what someone else envisions for them. So we're, as like Dave said, in looking at the design, we're open for comments. We want it to be a participative neighborhood. And we really look forward to working on this project if we're chosen.
Thank you. So I put up the last screen, and I know that everybody is trying to get over to the next presentation. So if you have questions or comments, feel free to put those into the chat box. Like we said, if we are chosen for this RFP, this is just the beginning. There's going to be lots more of community outreach that will be happening for the site. If you guys don't have any questions right now, but think of some later, we've put our information up on the screen so you guys can contact me or Adam. Those are our email addresses as well as our cell phones. And so with that, I'll turn it over. I believe Athena is fielding some of the questions. Do we have any of those questions, Athena?
We do have one question, Abby. Does everyone have to be 55 or older in the apartment?
So I'll take that one. Because this will be a deed restricted property, you will need to qualify and show proof of age, at least one person within the unit, I believe. Is that correct, Athena?
Adam is nodding his head yes, that only one person must be 55 or older.
Just one person who can qualify for that unit. Are there any other questions? Comments, design ideas, things that we should take into consideration, anything like that?
I'm not seeing any other comments or questions.
Okay, well, with that being said, you know, this is the end of our presentation. And again, thank you everyone for joining us today and being a part of this. We really appreciate it. You know, really like to make sure that we get quality feedback from the communities and we like to partner with them. This is a collaboration. This is us doing a project together. So again, our information is on the screen. If you have questions, concerns, please reach out to Adam or I. Thank you very much for coming today. And again, thank you for showing up with such short notice. So did we get another question?
No, just a comment.
Okay.
Someone wrote, thank you, it looks very nice.
Okay, great. Thank you all so much. We really appreciate it.